fiction than it is to cry at the grief and loss in our own life? Facade, facade. Come into my presence. And why? Lights, camera, archetype. Fragments fall in green boots. Interesting, the boots are green. I've never understood the color. But fragments I do. To go inward, I go outward. I read Milan Kundera, Fall in Love, first with Sabina, then with Lena Olin. We all need someone to look at us, the category of people who live in the imaginary eyes of those who are not present. They are the dreamers. I dream not of coffee grinds, not of an April morning. I buy a painting, side view of a broken dream in a coffee shop in Nashville, famous for miracles, I think on an April morning. The fragments of my life, I think. I am the side view. No, I am broken. No, I still dream. There's a greeniness, a faded grass spine, bone or icicle. To me, a shard, a broken mirror. When I look in a mirror, I see a lover, a leaver, a griever, an artifact. Don't forget that umbrella hanging on the door, this jacket, this pen. Beauty is a world betrayed. My friend gave me a black bowler glued to a shelf in her apartment in Brooklyn. As she tried to free the hat one night, it wouldn't detach. Beauty is a world afraid. Night breaks shadows from the chandelier, and I wonder where the coffee is. Grab a piece of gum, see nihilist written in stark contrast to how I feel. Drop a paperweight, it crackles pink. Pink, at least, is a world remade. I buy the photographer's task table lamp from Pottery Barn in Nashville, too. It looks old-fashioned, and I want to see liberation. The black bowler hat is your story, Sabina. It belonged to your father and his father before him, the mayor of a small town in Czechoslovakia. You, a rebel who betrayed your father when he destroyed love. You betrayed communism, another father, and when your father died, he left everything to your brother, and you declared the bowler hat your sole inheritance. And then you met Tomas, and he saw the bowler hat as a mark of individuality, and it became a sexual symbol when you looked into a broken mirror as you undressed down to your underwear, and laughed at the image of stark femininity violated by the pure masculinity of the bowler hat still on your head. But then the Russians invaded your country. You emigrated to Switzerland, and years later met Tomas in a hotel room where you made love for the last time, and wanted to cry, because the bowler hat was a relic of a time and place that no longer existed. Or was it the person you were with Tomas who no longer existed? By then you had Franz, the man who called your name when he died along a foreign border years after you left him too, because you despised Duende. To you, darkness is an end, not a beginning. To you, music, incessant noise that shuts our eyes to beauty. To you, Sabina, being buried in the earth is unbearable because it is the final weight that will prevent all flight. The bowler hat has traveled from Prague to Zurich to Geneva to Paris to America. It is your history. It is my archetype. Kundera writes, the bowler hat was a motif in the musical composition that was Sabina's life. It returned again and again, each time with a different meaning, and all the meanings flow through the bowler hat like water through a riverbed. The self creates itself again and again. An image becomes an appellation of Sabina, of Lena, as she stares at her reflection through the cracks, looking for, if only in an instance of recognition, love? Or so I imagine, love. Sabina, I had a dream about you once. You had a daughter. She was a waitress in a restaurant in Prague I've forgotten the name of now. I remember a pink checkered floor and a row of mirrors above each table. I was eating lunch, wearing my bowler hat, when the waitress sent me back to the kitchen to find something. Her boss, angry she sent a customer to the back, told her to read The Unbearable Lightness of Being as punishment. He understood the illusion. As she read, she came to the realization that she was your long-lost daughter, and the bowler hat belonged to her. She stood in front of the oval mirror in her bedroom to find you in her own image, but it quickly became a nightmare when an old man approached and chased her as she ran through a decrepit castle full of sky and ivy. She ran and ran. straight into nihility. Before I moved to Nashville, a friend reads for me from her deck of Zen Buddhist tarot cards. I want to fall in love, but my own mind is holding me back. Is it my mind or its lack of creativity? I saw the unbearable lightness of being for the first time when I was 19. There is a scene where Teresa takes photographs of her husband's mistress, Sabina, without any clothes. As the two women roll around on the floor, naked and laughing, I wonder if they're having sex. The L Word won't be released on DVD for another couple of months, and I have no idea how I'm supposed to have sex with a woman. My own mind apparently wants nothing more than to roll around naked and laughing. But then it happens. A Holocaust survivor stares into the eyes of the man in love with the Nazi who tried to incinerate her in the fire that took her mother's life. As she looks into his eyes, I look into hers. The scene drags on, and the rest of the theater grumbles, but I see only Lena Olin's face, framed in the camera, and me, standing up in my seat, mouth open, as I look at her. I am overcome, I think, so overcome. I've never seen beauty before, like this. I understand this beauty is not born of resilience, which is founded on the idea that a substance returns to its original state, because her face shows a state of transformation. John Ashbery says, "It is certain that what is beautiful seems so only in relation to a specific life, experienced or not, channeled into some form. Its form I'm in wild need of. Beyond image, beyond structure, the world opens up in half-realities. I am that daughter. I have moved beyond forgiveness to this place that exists only in Lena Olin's eyes. I see through blue-tinted prescription lenses in the center of Centennial Park in this Athens of the South. Standing in a replica of the Parthenon, I am small for the first time, and I am only 4 feet tall. The walls, a dull concrete, not marble, but it's easy to overlook when kneeling before Athena. Alan LeCoyer constructed the 42-foot goddess and painted her with 8 pounds of gold leaf to construct her just as she was in ancient Greece. John Dewey writes, because the actual world is a combination of movement and culmination, of breaks and reunions, the experience of a living creature is capable of aesthetic quality. The moment of passage from disturbance into harmony is that of intensest life. Every week a notice is posted on my apartment door warning of break-ins around the neighborhood. I brush my teeth before bed at 3 in the morning when I hear 2 gunshots in the parking lot outside my window, followed by a woman screaming. I hit the floor, crawl over to my cat, and shield her body with my own. I think of my professor who was almost raped in her apartment when she was in her mid-20s, but screamed so loudly she frightened her attacker away. She asked her neighbors why they didn't call the police when they heard her scream. They said they couldn't be certain it wasn't her television. I think I should call the police, but bullets can travel through buildings, and I will not forgive myself if my cat dies tonight. But then, forgiveness is easy. It's the after forgiveness I wrestle with. The idea that life does change, even if I have not, or conversely, that I've changed so much I can't recognize myself. I'm thankful my apartment has carpeted floors. I hear voices in the parking lot and get up to peek through the blinds. I see 3 police cars with their lights flashing below, and I'm thankful, too, that I don't have to act. I let go of my cat and lay down on my back. I wonder what happened to the girl who hung upside down and let go without fear, who danced ballet to Eve Six's Inside Out, who sang The Highwayman at the top of her lungs while walking down the beach and stuck her bare foot through her bedroom window pane, imagining her feelings of betrayal shattered like the glass on the floor. I wonder what the hell I'm even doing in Nashville. At 24, I know I have failed to do everything I wanted to. I wonder what is left. Is art found in the shattering of the self? In the middle of the circle is a bronze statue I call the Orgy Statue, because I like the sound of it better than musica. Every time I enter the roundabout on my way back from buying bubble tea at a Korean-owned store in Edge Hill Village, I laugh as 9 naked bodies contort in the windshield. It's all very Dionysian. Alan LeCoyer built this sculpture of 9 dancers as part of an urban renewal project on Music Row, 5 years before I moved to Nashville. Invariably, my attention turns to the woman, pivoting, arms outstretched as if reaching toward freedom. A man attempts to pull her down, but she is already turning away, beyond point, beyond permanence. I watch Alias, Enemies of Love Story, Bang Bang Orangutan, The Ninth Gate, and rewatch Chocolat Casanova, The Night in the Moment, and The Unbearable Lightness of Being. This time, Sabina is sensuality itself. Every movement, the arch in her back, the sway of her hair in the bedroom, the taunt of the bowler hat as she looks in the mirror. I ride in a convertible with my friend who asks if I'm having any fun. I say, of course, I love riding in convertibles. It's the closest thing we have to flying, and you know, I'm all about light and liberation now. She says that should be your blog title. And it is, for a while, but I want a more obvious tribute, so I have an image of the bowler hat tattooed above my right ankle with the words, light and liberation. La Maison Picassiette has nothing on you, Sabina. You don't just break objects, you break mirrors. I break windows. I sit at a mosaic table in my favorite coffee shop, a bowler hat on top of my head, and think of you. A question is like a knife that slices through the stage backdrop and gives us a look at what lies hidden behind it. Is it kitsch or archetype? On the surface of it, a reflection seems derivative, a half-reality faded in unoriginality. But one afternoon I walked down the street for bubble tea. I stand a little taller, sway my hair in the imaginary breeze, arch my back, and make my eyes wide with intensity to 3 catcalls from passing trucks. The boy who takes my order fills a cone with green tea ice cream. For you, he says, it's free. And when he looks at me, I grow 38 feet. Alan LeCoyer will have to erect a sex goddess statue of me using at least 8 pounds of broken mirrors. Is this the moment I come back into myself? It's possible, Sabina, that my platonic ideal of a woman is a mother. It's possible that the orphan in me needs a home. It's possible that, like Franz, I am a dreamer, and I will love you for the rest of my life and see myself in your image, even in the moment that I die along a foreign border. Thanks.